Lesson 1. Competing Interests. The Treaties of Traverse des Sioux and Mendota in 1851 were more than just an agreement between the United States government and the Dakota people. Among other things, it was a business transaction that included the competing interests of two private enterprises in the fur trade. These companies were the American Fur Company, also known as Pierre Chute Jr. and Company, and the G.W. and W.G. Ewing trading firm of Fort Wayne, Indiana. By 1851, Indian treaties had become a way for creditors to collect on debts owed by the Indians. To do this, creditors would seize upfront and annuity funds promised to the Indians in the treaties. In Minnesota, both the American Fur Company and the Ewing firm had significant debts with the Dakota people. Therefore, both companies sought to seize as much treaty money as possible. This began with the naming of a treaty commissioner. The appointment of a treaty commissioner lasted many months and was eventually won out by the American Fur Company with the naming of Luke Lee as commissioner. Lee worked with prominent trader Henry Sibley in order to represent the interests of the American Fur Company. According to trader Madison Sweetser, who represented the Ewing firm, Sibley had a community of interest in the claim arrangement. In order to counter this community of interest, the Ewing firm sent their man Richard Chute, who sought to secretly represent the interests of the Ewings. However, Chute was unable to obtain any treaty money for the Ewing firm. Following the signing of the treaties, the Ewing firm thought they might obtain the treaty money another way. Having noticed that the agreement the Dakota signed to pay their debts was never properly explained, the Ewings sent Madison Sweetser to expose the American Fur Company for deceiving the Dakota. Sweetser, according to trader Joseph R. Brown, sought to devise the means whereby the monies intended for the traders of the American Fur Company might be diverted to the coffers of the Ewing firm. This attempt, however, was unsuccessful. It is clear that the treaties represented a significant amount of money that both private interests sought to obtain in order to settle their claims. But what happened between these competing firms before, during, and after the signing of the treaties is complicated and cannot be proven. What we do know is that it happened at the expense and detriment of the Dakota people.